Zanies, thank you for joining me for another video. After you're done watching to the end, you'll understand why it took me the better part of 2 weeks to publish this video. Because today I have over 80 tips and tricks and things that you probably didn't know about emergency response Liberty County. I promise this video will either enhance your gameplay, create better role-playing situations, or simply give you an advantage in the game. If you're on the fence on whether or not to dish out the Robux to purchase ERLC, I'm sure this will help you as well. But first, I do have some very quick housekeeping details to share with you. First, your boy Zany is now on Twitter and Instagram. That's right. Who am I, right? At Chief Zany. Go follow me on both platforms. Second, I also have a Discord that admittedly I do not check as much as I should. But for those of you that are eager to add me, here's the information for you. Third, I now have a Roblox group. Well, realistically, I've had a Roblox group. I just haven't talked about it much. But fourth, the real exciting thing is I now have Roblox merch. Thank you to the efforts of sadly Kyle was taken. Kyle, I know you're watching and I want to publicly thank you for your work and dedication to helping me add value to the channel. With that said, the barrier to entry is very low. We've set the prices very low for some of this in-game merch. Go get your Zany t-shirt or hoodie today. Zanies, this video is going to be long enough and I'm sorry I'm talking fast, but let's get right into it. Starting with number 1, for those of you that don't know, before you ever even enter the game, if you click on the servers tab, you can select what server you want to join. For those of you that maybe want to join a less populated server to maybe get a leg up on robbing and breaking in, this is a great way to find servers that don't have many players. Simply scroll to the bottom of the page and look for load more. Keep doing this over and over until you find a server that fits your criteria and simply click join and you'll instantly be transported to that specific server. Very quickly continuing, number 2, you can play as a civilian. Number 3, you can play as a firefighter or EMT. Number 4, you can play as a Department of Transportation worker. Number 5, you can play as a cop. Number 6, when playing as a civilian, you can break into houses. Number 7, you can hack the ATM and walk away with some pretty good loot. Number 8, you can rob the jewelry store, and this is perhaps the quickest way to get 5 stars in the game. Back over to the firefighter team. Number 9, when you are playing as such, you can walk around and heal people with your medical bag, and this will earn you some kind of points. Number 10, also as a firefighter, you can put out fires inside the house. You don't need a key, you don't need to break in, you can literally just go into the house when it's burning down. Imagine that, a firefighter saving lives. Number 11, the firefighters and EMTs are capable of donning a helmet. This helmet is highly customizable by allowing you to remove any hats, turn on a flashlight, put an eye shield on, put a mask on, and of course equip the SCBA. Wait a minute, I think that was like 4 tips and tricks in one. Oh well, continuing over to the Department of Transportation workers with number 12. As a DOT employee, you will get service calls to go out and fix street lights. Yes, you can walk up to them and simply connect the wires to get them back to functioning the way they should. Also with the Department of Transportation team, number 13, you can change tires. If you didn't know this, yes, you can change a tire. Number 14, you can also give any stranded player on the map a little bit of gas to help get them over to the nearest gas station. In case you've been living under a rock and have not been watching my videos, number 15, you can now plow snow with the snowplow truck, and number 16, you can also tow cars with the tow truck. Number 17, don't forget you can sweep roads, keep those roads nice and clean in Liberty County. Over to the police and sheriff's teams. Number 18, ever wonder how fast that vehicle is traveling down the road? Well, guess what? You can check the speed with your radar gun. Over to number 19, did you know that if a criminal is barricaded inside his or her house, you can make entry on that property if you are playing as a SWAT officer? Simply equip your battering ram and make entry on that property and arrest them. Number 20, do you ever wonder what that stop stick is for? That actually is a spike strip in the game. Use a spike strip to stop any speeding criminals or any criminals trying to flee a crime scene. Before before we leave the police and sheriff's teams, number 21, there is an MDT or mobile data terminal that you can use to join calls if you want to add a sense of realism to your roleplay. Continuing with use of the MDT in number 22, use the MDT to locate calls and know where you are going to get there effectively. Number 23, the MDT also allows you to view any active calls in case you are sitting there twiddling your thumbs. And last but not least, with the MDT number 24, use the MDT to run a vehicle check on any nearby cars. Number 25, you can use your citation book to issue any fines to any players not following the rules. Number 26, if you are feeling a little bit more forgiving that day, you can use your citation book to simply issue a warning. Number 27, very similar to the Firefighter and EMT helmet, the SWAT helmet allows you to remove any hats, turn on a flashlight, equip some goggles, put on a face mask, a face shield, and even equip a headset. Once again, I think that was like 5 in 1, but it's okay. You guys get it. Number 28, it's important to not forget that you can customize your police vehicle at the spawn station. When you are selecting your vehicle, simply click on Edit Packages. That menu will then allow you to choose between your standard, your ghost, your undercover, or any other packages you may have, such as the slick top. Don't forget, a lot of players do not know about this. Speaking of being able to customize your police vehicle, did you know that the undercover version of any police emergency vehicle can be changed into any color that you desire? Well, within reason. The colors are a little bit more conservative for this selection, but nevertheless, you can change the colors of these cars. And before we leave the garage, we're going to quickly transform into a civilian to let you know that you can actually modify the color of any vehicle when you are playing on the civilian team. And in case you didn't know, number 31, you can also change the license plate of any vehicle in the civilian team. Number 32, staying local and around the corner. For those of you that don't know, and yes, I do feel like I need to say this, you can add gas to your car if you are running low. Simply drive yourself to the nearest gas station, exit near the pump, and pay for your gas. And with some editing magic, we're going to go back to the police team one more time for number 33. Did you know that there is a plethora of quick toggles and keyboard shortcuts in the game? That's right, a lot of these will apply to all vehicles in the game, even if you are not playing as a police officer. But for those of you interested in the emergency vehicle shortcuts, let's begin with number 34. Number 34, X will toggle through your emergency lights to arrive at your desired selection. Number 35, Z will play with the traffic lights. 36, C will engage the sirens. Number 37, V will engage the manual siren. Number 38, if you press N, you will cycle through automatic transmission and semi-automatic transmissions. Number 39, use R to shift up when semi-automatic. Number 40, use F to shift down when in semi-automatic as well. Continuing with the universal shortcuts, number 41, press M to toggle with and enlarge the map. Number 42, use period to bring up the emote menu. Number 43, use / to use the chat box. And number 44, please do not forget you can only use the chat box when playing in the teams. That brings us to number 45. There is no chat box when playing as a civilian. You have to zoom in to see what other players are saying around you. Number 46, back over to our keyboard shortcuts. In case you don't know, WSD or WASD will move your vehicle in the desired direction. That's right, you don't need to use the arrows in your keyboard. Number 47, G will engage your hazards. Number 48, H will engage the horn. Number 49, L will turn on your lights. 50, the letter Q will engage your left blinker. 51, the letter E will engage your right blinker. Number 52, T will transmit to the team chat box and the team chat box alone. And number 53, the letter Y will bring up the quick radio options. If you want a more in-depth explanation on how the chat box works in emergency response Liberty County, be sure to check out my other video where I explain this in great detail. Wrapping up these keyboard shortcuts, number 54, I will allow you to zoom in, and 55, the letter O will allow you to zoom out. And finally, on the keyboard shortcuts, number 56, the letter P will engage your parking brake. Moving on over with number 57, any of the numbers on your number row also will bring up items from your quick selection bar. And speaking of your quick selection bar, number 58, you can customize the quick selection bar by simply dragging and dropping items into your desired slot. Number 59, you can press this little map icon on the bottom left hand corner of your screen to either show or hide the map. Speaking of the map, if you bring up your map for number 60, you are able to play with the legend of the map. That's right, although this is labeled toggles, the correct name for this is a legend. The legend on any map allows you to identify what any symbols or roads or indications on the map may mean. Staying on the map for number 61, you can set waypoints on your map by simply right-clicking. You can view that waypoint by exiting out of the map and taking a look around the map. Somewhere on the map in the general direction of where you place your waypoint, you should be able to see a little yellow or orange drop pin, and that is where your waypoint is at. Continuing with the heads-up display for number 62, did you know that you can shrink the speedometer by simply clicking compact? And just like that, you will have a completely new view of your speedometer. For number 63, use your cell phone if you want to communicate directly with any players on the map or any members of your gang in emergency response Liberty County. If you are annoyed by all the calls from other players, don't forget to bring up your cell phone for number 64, because yes, you can mute your cell phone by simply clicking on the little speaker icon. For number 65, we're going to head on over to the caves. What I consider to be the primary entrance is located right beneath and behind the waterfalls. Number 66, the caves do have a secondary entrance or exit, whichever you want to call it, along Freedom Avenue. All you have to do is approach it from the right angle and it should be relatively obvious. Number 67, the bunker is now located along the housing track and behind a few homes. These are both great spots to meet with your gang and begin the plotting. Number 68, speaking of waterfalls, did you know that you can swim up the waterfalls? And while we're talking about water, number 69, you can swim indefinitely without your player running out of breath. But in the event that you are running out of breath and you are fighting for your health, did you know that for number 70, if you go to the hospital bed and lay down, you will begin to automatically cure at a much faster rate? Number 71, don't forget that you can rent real estate in Liberty County. Speaking of real estate, number 72, you can lock and open your house for other players to visit. With that same breath, number 73, if everyone starts to overwhelm you and they start to get on your nerves and you are done being a gracious host, use the kick function to kick all the players out of your house. Number 74, if you rent one of the bigger houses in the game, you will be allowed to spawn vehicles right from the comfort of your home. Number 75, in case you ever get lost, you can toggle the function to view the house on the map. Number 76, did you know that the barn has a second floor? Sounds funny, but I didn't know this until recently. Number 77, in case your vehicle gets impounded, this is how you go about recovering it. You have to go to the Department of Transportation building and pay the fine, after which the vehicle will be given back to you. In case you don't have enough money for that, number 78, please know and remember that the ATMs are functional. This means that you can use Robux to purchase in-game currency to help you recover any vehicles or otherwise purchase new vehicles to add to your arsenal or collection. Number 79, it is not necessary to leave the game if your vehicle gets stuck or if your player starts spazzing out. We've all heard of the cases where players fly out of the map or where vehicles can't stop spinning. Simply use the reset function to transport you back to spawn. This will take about 5 seconds, but it's much better than having to leave and re-enter the game. Speaking of entering the game, number 80, you can join any private servers. Just a word of advice, private servers are often ran by some really motivated admins, and don't be surprised if you find yourself doing shoulder to shoulder every 2 minutes. Beyond that, please remember that roleplaying is strictly enforced in the vast majority of these servers, so it is a double-edged sword sometimes. Sometimes you can find yourself with an admin that is power hungry, but other times you can find yourself in a server where all the players are following the rules and are actually role-playing. And number 81, don't forget that if you don't want to deal with any of that, you can create your own server. And finally, number 82, as a reminder to everyone, if you play on a private server, your information will not save. That means that any money accrued, any successful robberies, or anything else that you may have gained while being being in that private server will not save and translate into public servers. So if you walk away with a haul of, let's say, $100,000 in a private server, you will not see those $100,000 in a public server. I am so sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Zanies, that is it. I feel like I am out of breath and my head slightly hurts. Don't forget to follow me on all platforms of social media. And finally, if you are watching this in the year 2020, I think we are all ready for this year to end. So Zanies, I want to wish you a very happy, prosperous, and healthy new year. I will see you in 2021. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what tips and tricks you know about that maybe I missed in the comments below. Until next time, long live the Zanies.